And I need to go back and remaster some of these tunes. What's up, everybody? My name's Alckemy. Welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. We're gonna get started in just a second. I've got all of my hardware gadgets set up, ready to rock, and I think that we're in for a good time. Hey ISO, what's up, dude? Happy Wednesday. Hey everyone else, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today on this fine, hot as heck Wednesday. It's September, which I guess we're just now ending August, but man, out here in Vegas, it's pretty rough. Hello, I am here. You are here. We're going to be getting down on some music production and having some fun. If you all didn't see it, I recently uploaded a video on my how to build a workflow with the hay packs, and we'll be kind of showcasing some of that again with less of a focus of the hay packs. That being said, I think that it's a great device, and we've got all these other tools to play with. The first couple weeks, or I guess rather the first week that I've had all this stuff, I've just been trying to figure out how to use it for one. And there was a huge learning curve with each of these individual things, but I've pretty much got a handle on, you know, this cool little hybrid setup that I'm working on. And it's really fun because I get to showcase in some instances like how to think about this stuff, how to go about it. I do have a video coming up. It's already recorded. It's ready to go. Members can already watch it. For one, my relationship with hardware, but two, the video that I did with the hay packs again of, yo, this is how I might start a track with this and then get into the DAW and start working on other stuff, but then come back to it or something else of the sort, you know? So in any case, yeah, enjoy your stay, however long that might be. Yeah, let's go ahead and jump in. So we are in Bitwig 6 today, and we are going to start a track pretty much from nothing. I've got a little sequence in here. But we do have a couple of quick play spells to get through. Let me leave a link to the Discord. If you all want to join a session or you want to be able to submit, then you can do that on once per day, 15 seconds or less. And I'll play it at the beginning of the stream. You still have time if you want to submit something, but don't send me your whole album because I'm not going to listen to that. 15 seconds or less. So... yeah, we have 2 Michaels and a Crow. Yeah, this is getting better. You're getting there. Yeah, the groove is there. It needs the attitude now. It feels like you're holding back. I need more aggression. But it's getting better. Yeah, I really like a lot of the concepts that you have. This is unsolicited advice, but I feel like the drums that you use don't usually match up to the vibes that you create. I feel like with like Lauren and all that, I want these kicks that are like boom, you know, and have like a wider range of space and that and whatnot. And so that'd be really cool if you experimented with a wider range of palettes that maybe had a little bit more physicality to them. Hey Nate, how are you, dude? All right, so I've got this dumb little sequence already programmed here that I did right before we went live, so that way we have something to work with. I've also got this sound that I programmed right before we went live, which sounds like this. Oh, sorry, I need to turn the pedal routing on. And then I also need to turn on the effects too. And turn the iridium on. And so we've got this cute little sequence that sounds like this. I'm going to turn this stuff on so that way I can get into my rolling sampler. Just making sure I have all my tools still available. And what we're going to do is get into some sound design where I'll get into some recording. Let's go ahead and turn on the pedal. And then something else that we're going to do is we're actually going to introduce the Zoya now. And I don't have a patch prepared for this, but I'm going to make one very quickly. Cool, so I just went ahead and made a quick buffer delay effect on this. And then we can continue to mess with this. Then what I'd like to do is I'd like to add a chance on this to change the octave. Maybe that's not on there. I wanted to find a chance on here that would play an octave every once in a while. And I think that's in an effect, but I don't remember how to get there. There we go. It's in random. Although, this sounds like it's breaking the scale now. There we go. Thinking of switching from Ableton to Bitwig, the UI seems pretty clean, good idea. I would say, honestly, just demo everything. That's your best bet, because that's the only way that you're really going to know if something is for you. Don't spend any money. Try the demo out, see what you think. Because, yeah, I don't know how else to say this, but I do not really almost ever want to talk about Ableton versus Bitwig again. And it has nothing to do with being your fault or anything that somebody said to me. It's more of a happening, and I want to close the door on that discussion. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. It's unfortunate, but to answer your question, I would say just demo, and then also I have videos already on Ableton versus Bitwig. So, thank you. I'm hoping for a change of scenery will help me cook up something new. I'm also not interested in DAW wars. Pointless. Yeah, it's not even about that, because I get it, but it's more, I don't know. What I will say though is check out those videos, and if you have any questions on, like, does Bitwig have this, if you're in Ableton, like, you can ask me that. Yeah, man, it's unfortunate, but anyways, I'm gonna keep working on this if you don't mind. Let's go to the filters here. I'm gonna go to the filter envelope. There we go. Sweet. So we got some cool stuff out of that. Let's go ahead and get into some drums now. Oh shit, what's going on here? Okay. Actually, here we go. Let's grab a filter. I will say, like, I don't regret switching. There was a lot of like checklists that I had, but I also switched during version 3. And so there were a lot more sacrifices that I had to make. But with the later versions and everything that's coming out now, I'm like, and at the end of the day, like I'm I'm almost curious, like I'm almost thinking about even trying out Cubase just to try it out. Please don't leave. Yeah, true. You can open up Bitwig files or Ableton files in Bitwig in case if you already have a project, then it'll try to automatically replace whatever you're missing. Hey, Stag, what's up? The survival guide is canceled, Ryan. I am so sorry. The survival guide is canceled. Um, it's not something that I can talk about, but yeah, long story short. Can I ask you something though, Ryan? When did we come up with this idea? Yeah, it's not the end of the world, but when did we come up with this idea for the survival guide? I'm curious. Was this last year or was this like months ago? Around 5.2? So that had to have been last year, right? Because we've had 5.3 since. Yeah, I feel like we've had 5.3 forever. It's a pretty nice kick. All right. We're going to do a little bit of coloring to this. Yeah, I'm sorry. It just something happened and I can't talk about it, but this is not going to happen. I appreciate that. It's yeah. Well, Cubase does have the modulators, but I'm curious. I'm more curious as to like how the effect workflow is, and the routing and all that other stuff. I think that's what Noisy used. Yeah, and then Nick ended up going to Bitwig, but um, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, they used that forever, but they were using that when, because like I tried Cubase way back during 7. Oh, it's not unlimited effects. That could be a deal breaker, to be honest. Is this just a bug? No, we're fine. Okay. There we go. All right. All right. So I want this to actually hit just a little bit harder. My dog is sleeping in the back and wagging her tail. 14 or something before bus. That might be workable. Cubase's has 8 effects in the iPad. And I'm like, that's okay. It's not terrible, but I feel like we could do better. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm very picky with my drums, but as you can see, they are very loud. What makes me curious about Cubase? Taking a break from Bitwig. I don't think I'm gonna follow through on that. My dog thought that was someone knocking on the door. Yeah, basically. But yeah, I don't know. I I feel like my channel is getting ready to just take a huge dookie just because of how much variety I've been introducing. But to be honest with you, it's also like my numbers for just doing Bitwig stuff in general have been like, actually ever since I switched to Ableton, my channel has never been the same. And that was years ago. Which I love Bitwig. I mean this is definitely my DAW of choice, but I'm just kind of curious as to what else is out there and what other markets I can tap into. And also like what else I can make content on. Okay, let's duplicate that. Now we need a clap layer. Which I don't blame people, you know, it's like, it's the more popular thing, but Just because pretty much everyone used it. Right, exactly. Your base guides are goated. That's how I found you. Yeah, thank you so much. I mean, those are kind of like rinse though, you know? I've done that to death. Part of the reason why I started getting into hardware, because I'm like, all right, well, hello, mate. Could you please show the panning slider in Bitwig? It's right here. It's the same as in 5. Any chance to put it in a track next to the volume slider? Hey, Arl. Yeah, it's right here. Like in 5. Bro. Come on, man. Hardware can definitely give you a new creative flow. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. But in order for it to pop up, you need this. So that way you get the track ins and outs. And then you need to select the track. But it's all there. So many pretty lights on screen. My gear. Oh shit, I totally forgot that I was doing a snare in this. Just break habits like muscle memory in your piano or whatever. My gear consists of 2 bass guitars, 1 electric, and a mouse. Yeah, I feel that. Working since years in Cubase and Ableton and never had trouble finding it. Yeah, I mean, Bitwig did kind of throw a wrench at all of us, and we're having to figure things out, and now we're having petty arguments over what automation way is better and whatever, man, but it doesn't matter. But yeah, it's there. You just gotta look for it. It is there. Steve Lebu. Wow, wow. Les beaux on Steve. Les beaux on Steve. The UI is very Ableton-ish at first glance. I think I'll demo Bitwig. I mean, it kind of, yeah, the UI is so similar, and that's the thing, is that those DAWs are like 90% the same thing. It's just that I prefer Bitwig because it's easier to work in audio. And I just like the tools better now. There's some complaints and things that I have with the modulation on there. But up until now, like the automation in Ableton was probably way better. Yeah, it was yeah. Yeah. Agree with everything everyone is saying. Transient control. All right. So now what I want to do is we're going to add a little bit of tail to this. Just going to kind of mix these two in. I guess compared to Ableton, Bitwig 6 wins, especially looking at the new piano roll. You know what? To be honest with you, I think that Ableton has a way better piano roll. Just like straight up, like not even trying to be biased, but like objectively, the MIDI tools that you have that are just baked in are pretty robust compared to what Bitwig has. Now, don't get me wrong, like it's cool, and I'm glad that Bitwig added it, but um, instead of just having the feature list of like, oh, now you can lock stuff into scales, like there's all this warping and all this that you can see happening real time, to where Bitwig actually excels at MIDI via modulation because it has the MIDI grid, and it has, you know what I mean, all this other stuff. I guess I could do. No, I don't want to do that. Yeah, I want to stick to what I said. I think that I would do it because it's a good video, but at the same time, it's like I don't I don't want to go through what I just went through again. Um, it's not worth it. So you can ask me and I'll tell you, but I'm not going to do another video on anything regarding Ableton to Bitwig or whatever. I'm done with that conversation. I don't think it is either. I think it's a beginner's feature, but it's not to say that you can't do some cool stuff with it. Like you can just paint and see what you get, But builds in very audio. It's the same as Melodyne, but inside the DAW. Yeah, I agree. There's room for all those. I wonder where the line is for copyright infringement from one DAW copying to another. Well, maybe the person that created that stuff like has had the rights, and so they were able to kind of make their own thing, But I don't really feel like Bitwig ever was a bite off of Ableton. Like everything has a timeline. You know what I mean? Everything has an effect list. Everything has like, so it's kind of like, I don't know, man. Session and arrangement view. Yeah, but they did it better. They didn't call it the same thing. Yeah, that wouldn't be something that I do a lot, but it could be cool to throw on a bass or something, but I don't really mess with I only do like very minimal vocal things personally, but I could see that being useful for someone else for sure. By all means. But I don't know, it's pretty interesting. I mean, maybe it's just a consequence or a product of the people that watch YouTube like that. I think that the people that comment are the ones that are usually pretty seasoned, but I think that the majority of the viewers are beginners. And if I have a synthesizer and I'm making a video about it and you don't have that synthesizer, chances are you're not going to watch it because you're going to be like, this doesn't apply to me, or I don't have that thing. And for me, like me in my cultivation, whenever I was doing stuff, I would watch the thing anyways if I was interested in the topic, because I'd be like, all right, well, what can I take from this? And I don't think that's a culture that YouTube society has adopted, for better or for worse. And that's no disrespect to them, but it's just, I think, like I said, I think it's just a product of what's going on. Got a little bit room for improvement here. I love watching people play with hardware I don't personally own. Me too. Like State Azure is streaming right now, and I just popped into his stream before I went live, and I'm like, yo, man, I love watching your stuff, because I'm like, what are you doing? I want that. you know, it's just dope. There we go. All right, we might turn that into like a metallic snare later, but I just wanted to get some drums in here. We're gonna pull up the hat rack. And then we're going to get some... Hey, what's up, Split? How are you? I'm going to get a percussion thing in here that I'd like to just mess around with. Or you know what? Maybe we could use Life. I haven't used... Oh, man. Bitwig just crashed. It's okay. This is why... This is rolling sampler is the great fucking ever. You ready for this? I'm going to see if this is going to pull this up. What did we save? It's okay. It's okay. Hold on. All right. All that doesn't even matter. Do you know why? Because here's everything we made today. And boom. So we're Gucci. Wait, what's going on? Sounded wonky. I'm good. Another similarity with Ableton. Random crashing. No. Right now we're in the beta. Bitwig is probably the most stable DAW I've ever used. But in the beta, like, it's terrible. Oh, I see. Oof, shit. How many different impulse responses do I use in my hat rack? I just use hi-hats for my impulse responses. That doesn't answer your question. Probably like 20. I haven't used Life very much, but I love the concept of it. I think that it's hit or miss for me. There's some things that I really want for it to change, but it has so much potential to be incredible. New to this channel, I found you via Reddit rabbit hole. Oh, dude, thanks for checking me out. I appreciate that. I'm afraid to see what people say about me on Reddit. So I just, well, I don't really care, but you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't even want to go down that rabbit hole. I think it was just coming in hot. Yeah, the sound is okay now though, right? Okay, yeah, that's good. And the volume of my voice is good. And okay, we still have sound. All right, sick. So yeah, we still have our drums and stuff, I believe. Oh, this was some stuff that I made last night. So if you all haven't seen it, I did a Haypacks workflow video. Please go check it out. Do it for me for Haypacks because they sent me a Haypacks and I wanted to do them justice and like make cool shit for them. But that video is not doing so hot. And if it's my fault because the video sucks, I would actually want to know that as well. All right. So we're still good. Yeah, we got some claps that we made. And then we've got some snares. And then we've got some of this other stuff that we can pull in. I think all of this was from today, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, we could use some of that later, but what I want to do for now is just get all this out of the way. And let's just focus on what we already did. And let's try this one more time. If Life crashes this again, then it's gonna, yeah, okay. So Life is a no-go. That's Life. Good point of switching to Bitwig would be either technology background freezing of unused tracks, CPU power. Funny it crashes, not want to be toxic, just saying. Yeah, agreed. Oh, fuck, no. No, I want Bitwig 6. Yeah, I know that this probably isn't a good first impression for anybody that's checking out Bigwig 6 for the first time, but I do want to remind you that um, it's a beta. Like, what can you say? I'm just gonna grab these because that's what we actually pulled out. Not really worried about the drums that I made or the chains or anything. I make drums so often that it's not a big deal. But what I will do is let's go ahead and just create a percussion generator from scratch. And so what I'm going to do is set this here. We're going to grab channel 2 and set this to channel 2. And on track 2, I'm going to send this in here so that way I can get some data in here. And this is just a means to get information in here while I work. So oh, interesting. Now that's not working. Well, if I set this up to just track 1, does that work? USB device channel 1. So channel 1 works, but channel 2 doesn't work, it seems. Okay, we'll work with channel 1. This isn't meant to be a melody. This is just meant to be... Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do this. We're going to mute this. Then I'm going to grab a note receiver. And I'm going to show you why in just a second, but on Polymer, we're going to go to Chains, Replacer, Replacer. Now, because this has MIDI through, we're going to grab a tool. That's another thing that Bitwig has, which is really nice, is the tool function. And we're going to go into segments. Thanks for coming in, everybody, by the way. I really appreciate you all hanging out with me while I just kind of hang out and work and make sounds and stuff. I always love when I've got a lot of people coming in to chill and I've got conversations going on. You knew why is so nice on the eyes. You know what? I've gotten a lot of complaints that this is too dark for people. I used to make hip hop hybrid tracks, was the #1 reason I bought Bitwig, so I can delete it from my hard drive and still have it in the project. Man, hybrid tracks are freaking awesome. Usually doesn't crash when one plugin does. Well, Bitwig has plugin sandboxing, so if the plugin crashes, it shouldn't crash the thing. But like I said, it's the beta, so I'm choosing to use the beta, and so because of that, you can, but I don't think that's the complaint. I think it's people are saying that the scale is too small. That it's too dark and the scale is too small, and I'm like, is it? I don't know. What do you all think? Hey, Mac, what's up? Did you see that Ableton added stem separation to the thing? Huh? How about that? So now with this, we've created a sharp transient maker. Ableton, you can change the scale, right? Yeah. And so because we have this, we can actually apply any kind of percussive effects to this now, and then this will allow us to, you know, basically create different kinds of percussive timbres and whatnot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this to 0. I'm going to make this jump, jump, jump. We're going to set this to note. You can grab a convolution now. Then what I'm going to do is I'm also going to grab another random here, and I'm going to cycle through this, but set this to bipolar. So that way this will cycle through all this other stuff. We're going to grab another filter and add some distortion. Let's try a comb filter. Note trigger. Hold. Hey, Michael, what's up, dude? How are you? How's everybody else doing? We can grab this and set this to the feedback, though we want to be kind of careful with this. I'm working at night, but I'm used to the gray. Yeah, I still like the lighter timeline. I'm not the biggest fan of, it's up here. You need to right click and then you can change everything, but I don't know about that. That just, I think this looks way better. Hey, Fudge, what's up? The quantized divisions affect the scale. And then also, yeah, that's another thing too, is you don't have the quantized divisions anymore, which I don't want to get into the complaints, but this doesn't make sense that this only goes up here now when we have a grid resolution of, oh, they also reduced this to half because this used to be 64,000, which is kind of inconsequential in the means of like, are you ever going to actually use that? Like by that amount of time, nobody's going to be able to tell, but it's noticeable. And I'm like, why did you remove that? You know what I mean? I'm trying to see if, oh, see, no, it is still there. But if you zoom in with the mouse, okay, that's good to know. If you zoom in with the mouse, it will not go that far. So yeah, I think that this should still be a slider, you know, or actually, yeah, I think it should just be a slider of like 8:1 all the way to the maximum amount. And I think that would make a lot more sense. Doing all right, just trying to juggle between college work and practicing making music. All black looks better. Looks washed out like that. I agree. I don't think that it's for me. So we can grab a frequency shifter. And we can start to play around with the random on this. I'm just going to let this be. But on this, now as you can see, we're getting just more things that more texture that we can work with. Cool. I'm also going to introduce a ring mod because sometimes I want this to be a little bit more noisy. And the reason why that's making sounds is because we need a gate, because the filter distortion has a noise floor. Floor noise? Noise floor? Whatever. I don't remember. One of those things. Okay. One thing that I am going to do is that I'm going to change the ring mod on here just to... no, not that one. God, I do that all the time. So just the first party one, so that way if I want to give this out or something, then I could just do that. Set this to on. Sync. Sure. I was not popping up. So now what we'll do is we'll just record some of this out. What changes would make me come back to Ableton? I plead the fifth. I'm sorry. Plead the fifth. I don't know. Rolling sampler really opened up the doors for every single DAW for me. You know what I mean? Like, if I have rolling sampler and I have phase plant, all of my needs are taken care of. If I move to Bitwig, especially, or sorry, to Ableton, and I have rolling sampler and all that other shit, like, I still do collabs in Ableton. Yeah, I do. Like, I still have Ableton Live 12. It's still there. I just don't prefer it. So, I am going to send this into this guy, and I am going to try to get some resamples into this now. And I'm going to show you some of the looper use cases and stuff with this, because this will be fun. So there we go. Sorry, I didn't have this properly routed. Pretty much just stuff in here to lead to our heart's content, which is nice. And I like doing this stuff because it just, you know what I mean? It's just like an auto resampler thing. That's what I love about the microcosm, is that it's a looper, that's built in, so you can literally just record whatever goes into the DAW that's with the setup that I have. And I guess the one downside is that it puts it back in mono, but that's not that big of a deal, to be honest. There's a lot of different ways to bring out the stereo and all that. But what's cool about these things is that, you know, you can kind of just try to pick out a pattern and just listen to this and be like, all right, what's this doing? Maybe set this to repitch. Do something like this. Then what we can do is join this and do something like this. Just kind of try to find a middle ground within all this stuff, which is kind of fun. You can just take this. Cool. And so now what I want to do is I want to add some groove to this, because even though there's... Did I put track delay on this? No, I did not. We can put a little bit of track delay on this. If we add just a little bit of movement here. See what that sounds like. Take a look at some of this other stuff. That's kind of cool. What I'm doing is I'm just building from the percussion first. Now we can add syncopation. Sorry, when I get into work mode, I tend to get quiet. But what I'm doing is just rearranging the drums, and this is like, oh my god, why didn't anybody tell me? Fuck. Oh shit. Hey Will, I'm getting into the audio manipulation of putting drum beats and stuff together. So this is kind of like the biggest thing about why I tend to stick with Bitwig, is because the audio editing that I'm doing here is just it really is the best to me for this kind of stuff. For the cutting and pitching and you know, being able to select multiple clips at one time and make adjustments to that. Honestly, yeah, back to that question, what would make me switch back to Ableton? Being able to edit multiple audio clips at once. So adding fades or slicing in place, or really just the audio editing features. That's probably my biggest gripe. Hey Stern, what's up? I thought about the hamburger lanes just as parameter lanes again, and they really should be an option brought back. That's how I feel as well. Especially like if you're using the Bitwig Connect, right? Like, say I go to the Bitwig button, which this is covered by a bunch of hardware shit. But if I find something and I latch onto a parameter like this, if I hold the plus button, there should be a fucking lane that pops up, right? So that way I could see what I'm doing, but I have to use my keyboard shortcut to go into automation mode, and it's like, that makes no sense. No sense. I think it's a bug. I think they're going to add it back, personally. But cool. So now we can get all this other stuff in here. Drums go here, or kicks go here. Snare goes here. Percussion goes here. And then we've got ourselves a cool little beat. All right, I want this to be a little bit later. Sick. Okay, so you know how we built that percussion maker over here? Well, we can save that. Wait. Get in there. Get in there. And then we can hit Command G. What's the date today? September 3rd? Ooh! You know what the... Hold on. Two things. You know what the biggest thing that is like the biggest W about Bitwig 6 is for me? I don't have to hit enter anymore. Look. It's just there. that is the best fucking thing Bitwig 6 has made. That is such a W. So I'm gonna save this now. It would be nice if whatever the name of this is would come up automatically, but that's truly important. I'm not even joking. Hates commit answer all the time. No, I agree. Like it seems funny, but I'm dead serious. I think they tried to tidy things up, but overcommitted. A simple on-off switch should do so people can decide what they want. There are still some value boxes which require enter. Yeah, I mean, like, I could see like values of percentages and stuff that like that kind of makes sense to me, but hi baby. Hi sweetie. We interrupt this broadcast to give Jersey some cuddles. Hi. Are you being good? You being a good dog? Yes, you are. Do you want to learn how to make beats, Jersey? Yeah. You guys want to see something cool? Hey, scammer. Wait, hold on. Jersey. Would you like, Jersey, do you want a snack? Do you want a snack, Jersey? Jersey, do you want a snack? Is it snack time? Do you want a snack? I mean it. Do you want a snack? Can you speak? Can you speak? No, we're working on it. She only makes Jersey beats. Let me give her a quick snack. I'll be right back. I love her. She's pretty great. Um, I see right through your tricks. Get up and go get my food. No, it's not time. She'll get fed at 6 o'clock. We kind of feed her on the dot, or we try to. I don't know if you might not be able to tell, but she's fucking buff. Like, she's buffer than me, and I'm pretty in shape. It probably doesn't look like it because of my posture, but I'm pretty in shape. Yeah, dude, she's fucking buff, and I'm just like, so we try to maintain that. We don't take her out for long walks every night, but it's like maybe every other night, and she gets like a 2 mile walk. We just started taking her to the dog park. We bought a frisbee for her to start catching, which was Corey's idea to take her to the dog park. I don't go outside. I don't leave my house, but I will take her outside of the house. But we feed her really good quality food. She gets like the yak chews, and we spend time with her. Sometimes she gets anxiety anyways. Like, I'm curious as to what she's doing now. But hold on one second. What is she into? She's laying down on the couch. She's pretty great. The one thing about her is I think that she went through some trauma with other dogs, and she fucking hates other dogs, and so that's kind of an issue to try to work around. But other than that, she's super sweet, and she really loves both Corey and I. You're a good dog. Yes, you are. You are a sweet girl. But I need you to get off so Dad can work. Okay? Can you get down? Down. Thank you, sweetie. And you could tell like she just fucking loves the shit out of us. And when you have a creature that you're taking care of that shows that to you, you're just like, come here, just shh, I got you. Uh, she sleeps with us. She ends up going into her kennel at night, but she'll take a nap with us, and then she prefers her kennel. So I'll give her a snack, and then I'll put her in the kennel, give her some pets, and shut the door, and she goes right to bed. And like, yeah, for the most part, she's pretty easy. She got bitten twice. Oh man, yeah, it's hard to work with, you know. And I don't need her to like love other dogs, but I would like her to at least be indifferent. That would be the goal for me anyways. What is this? We need this out of here. Get out of your mind, burnt. That delayed kick on the Dalby is fracking wonky. Thank you. Okay, so we can work with this. Um, get that in here. Then we can just kind of play around with some of this stuff and see if anything interesting comes out. You have to really watch the interaction closely with other dogs and know when to get out of the dog park. But she's a suck up with all human. That's how my dog is. But we take her to the dog park late at night. Like we don't. I do think that at some point we need to get her interacting with the other dogs. But yeah, for now, just to be safe, we only take her to where like there's nobody else or there's a fence in between. Come on. Bruh. What are you doing? Thank you. That's kind of cool, actually. Right. So now I'm just getting variations of this to see if I can get anything else that's kind of cool. I like that too, to be honest. Sure. What's your question? Do 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 do. Bruh. Beta. God dang it. I was watching Dash Glitch video. He used mod source curve edit on a macro. Is there something like that in Faceplant? Mod source curve edit. Like remapping? Yeah, absolutely. I think that's what you're talking about, right? This? Is this what you mean? Is this your card? Yeah, so it looks a little bit different, but it's, to be honest, the same thing as using an LFO to an LFO. So this would be your equivalent of mod remapping. You set an LFO to a destination, say the phase, but now you change another LFO to affect another LFO. This is mod remapping. And you can do this as many times as you want. So, but yeah, this would be the equivalent. So if you want to turn volume of the source down at the beginning of the macro control and end it, how do you assign the macro knob? Well, let's say you had this and you want to assign all of this control to a macro. You find the last destination or the last modulator. You turn this down and then you add a macro to this. And then if this is supposed to be the volume, then you just assign it to the volume. So now the volume is being affected by this is being affected by this, and this is being affected by the macro. Whenever you see mod remapping, think of it as like modulating a mod source. You're just modding a mod. Mod. Oh my, I spent so long trying to think this through. Hey, Chubuk. Works with curve too, right? Yeah, it works with anything. It's the destination setting up that you need to use this on. But yeah. It's the same shit. Doesn't matter it doesn't matter if it's an LFO or random or whatever. Started switching to Bitwig with your vids. Aw, thanks, dude. You're a natural teacher. You explain everything so well. Thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, that's why I'm here. I'm here to learn as well. People teach me stuff here all the time. And, you know, I know a lot, but I also know nothing about a lot. I think that's the best way I could say that. All right, let's figure out what key this is in. Does that sound right? I think that sounds right. You know what else would be right is if I can control the stupid clip. Cool, so now we're just gonna kind of... Okay, do you remember how we talked about this stuff being relevant? Or like coming back and using gear and whatnot to like switch things out? So the cool part about this is that now that we have something like that, I think that this is in D sharp. We're going to play with D sharp and see if that works. To me, it sounds okay for now. But I'm going to change this from F sharp Japanese to E flat Japanese. And on the sequence here, we have this set up to match chord. And if sequence 1 is playing this, then whenever I change the key on sequencer 16 via the step mode, it's going to transpose everything and I can play like cool melodies with this and stuff. So we'll see if this works, but it's just a really neat way to get more stuff out of this. And what I might even do is instead of doing this on phase plant, I might just play with more bells and whatnot on this, even though it's in mono. I'm kind of starting to look for more, what would you say? More stereo stuff. But even still, if we can get a good timbre out of this, then I can always reintroduce the stereo again. So we want to set this here to Zipatel routing. It's going to the pre-master. Now on this, MIDI A. Oh, it's there. Okay. We're also going to set channel 16 to 1 as well. Sick. So now that's dope. So now what I'll do is I'll just solo this and pull this out. Something like that. And then I'll just hit solo, hit this, and then I'll record this from the... So now that we have that, we can just pull that out and put this back in, which is nice. Again, like I think if I did not have rolling sampler, I would not have purchased hardware. These keyboard or context things is just wigging out, as you can see. It's just like, but this was an issue that was also within 5 as well, so I hope that gets fixed in the next beta. All right, a little bit too much going on here, but that's okay. Because what we can do is maybe just have them take turns. I'm going to bounce these. Change the warp mode of this. Right now we're just trying to create a relationship with all of this stuff and see if I can get it to do something cool, you know? Okay, so there's certain things that I like about this, and so what I'm going to do is just take what I like and delete what I don't like. I like the first downbeat of this. I like the last half of this. So I can't get this to do what I want. If this doesn't make sense, no worries. Is there a way to assign volume to a macro, but it isn't controlled in linear equal temperamental value? Yeah, just use remap. So if you're wanting to change the scaling of whatever it is that you're using, let's say you have this here for the volume, right? But you don't want it to be linear. You can go to remap, and let's say you want to do like a scale of this. Well, now if you map this here, or shit, rather, hold on, my bad. Map the remod to this, then map the macro to the remap. And now it's going to jump in different increments. If you want it to be whatever kind of shape, then it goes down, whatever, like you can map that to where it'll cycle through whatever it is that you want it to be. And it doesn't have to be steps, but you know what I mean? If you want this to plateau at here, but then let's say you add distortion and it gets too loud, well then you can be like, I'm going to turn it down a little bit. See? No, that's all right. Hmm. My audio's still good? Because that just crashed. Okay. Hopefully this turns back on. I don't feel that invested enough into this project to even want to save it, because I'm just kind of fucking around, but I still don't want to go through the trouble of having to start another idea completely from scratch. That's not the funnest. All right, because this isn't working, I'm going to try this instead. At least it hasn't quit on me yet. Come on. All right, I'll save it. And then we'll quit, and then I'll reopen it. Ooh. So yeah, I'm curious. What are you all on this bit with monologues? I do have a video on this, but I am curious as to what you all think about what's going on. Well, that's interesting. Why was this? Where was the other thing coming from? Huh. Now we're not getting the roly of. It's also going to MIDI channel 1. Oh, because of the gate. I was like, what happened? But even still, it didn't look like it was recording. So we're just building a comb filter now. I'm gonna set this to note. Set the offset on this to 88. I'm gonna set this to C3 or C4. I folded and bought the OLED gaming laptop Ultra 9 in September now. I need to behave myself and make some music and stop buying stuff to fill a void. What's the void? So I really like some of the stuff that's within this. I'm going to see what we can get out of stretching this out a bit. I really like this. Wait, you haven't bought anything yet, right? I'd say hold off. Like, just to kind of quickly show you, since when did I put that pack out? Blinky. Aside from this, so subtract that, subtract one patch from the rest of this stuff. This is how many patches I'm sitting on since I released Ecclesia. Which they're not all bangers, but yeah. I have a lot. And I could probably I can't necessarily drop this tomorrow. New pack. I don't really do sales because I'm a one-person team. Although I am considering dropping the price of the serum pack because I think that maybe like I don't know. I thought it was good value, but I don't think anybody else thought it was good value. So I might drop the price of that significantly. And just send out an email of things. I don't know. To be honest with you, though, like sales in general have just been pretty abysmal. I'm really lucky that I have a bit of a financial cushion to sit back on, thankfully. But I've been trying to turn this channel around, and it's been rough. But that's kind of how YouTube goes, you know. Sometimes you do really well, sometimes you don't do really well. What I should probably be looking at doing is trying to like land a job at a company or something, or some kind of I don't know. I wish I could get into game design or something, but yeah, something of the sort like that. Actually, no, I really don't want to work for anybody else. I've built this business up, but I'm not so prideful that I'm like, I'm gonna rock it till the wheels fall off. Put Jersey on the corner, one pet for $1. No, man, I want her to be able to be a dog and just like exist and have fun. That's cool. They'd fire me. They would fire me so quickly. Because I'd be like, why don't we add this? Why don't we add this? Hey, Portra. I like this. This is nice. Yeah, so we've got a little beat thing going on, but I'm kind of just exploring for a hook and not really in a rush to get there, but just, you know. Ugh, I hate that. I hate that I have to do that now. Bad for business? What's bad for business? Oh, yeah. True. Just gonna start making a bunch of decisions and see what happens. On the topic of extra income, making a sort of demo reel to game studios isn't such a bad shout. Doesn't have to be working full time for a studio, just be commissioned or give something. Yeah, true. I'd have to go back to Ableton though. Uh, To work in game design, any DAW works? No, no, it's about trying to get a demo reel together because I need the video editor. Are you in the latest firmware? Yes, I am. This is the one that has the drum import and stuff. I'm actually going to be making a pack for them. I don't know what they want to do with it, but I offered to make like a factory content for just like drum grooves and stuff. So we're kind of in talks for that. But yeah, we've been communicating pretty closely. They've already watched the first video that I did for them, and they had some really good feedback. I just put up the other one, which I think you saw, and yeah, you know, I'm enjoying it. Just having good relations, trying to do that anyways with people. Yeah, what can you say? Also, not everybody has to be your friend. Yeah, me too. But did you know that there's sample locking or parameter locking in that? So like you can change if you have more drums, you can transpose it to whatever drum you want. But you need to use another track channel, the top-down one. Do you have to? Showcasing the stock drum and plugin sounds very nice. Might have to try out Bitwig. Yeah, the stock drums are great. Especially now with the 5.3 update. I don't know, like I get what you're saying, but I don't know if I need the tracks to be that busy. You know what I mean? Like I don't need more than 3 sounds happening at once with my drums. Like at the same time. Does that make sense? Maybe 4. But within that, you can change the sample locks and all that stuff. And if you start from the bottom, which the transposition on there of moving everything down, then you can output the drums and split them over 2, so you get 16. Yeah, you're talking about the projects. That makes sense. Or what you could also do is just have a second, you can have more. Like you can have one project and up to 16 different sequencers. So you can have, let's say your fundamentals on track 1, your percussion or your hats on track 2, and then your percussion and weird loops on track 3, which is actually a really good idea. Now that you mention it, but you know what I mean? Because you can map them all to the same channel, but then just move them out. And it might even be better because you can organize, you know, the way that you like working with everything. I've done that with different swing on the effects. Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, like with that video that I did, I talked about this, but I'm not really trying to make the Haypacks my centerpiece or any of this stuff my centerpiece for that matter. This is all great stuff and I love it, but it's more of just a tool to try to like finagle and find my way towards other stuff that I'm like, oh, this is cool. Oh, this is cool. Like even now, like I've got this synthesizer that's sitting right in front of me and I'm using Faceplant, but I'm not beating myself up over it. You know what I mean? It's just a matter of like quickly getting an idea out. But I'm not saying that you can't and that you shouldn't try to use gear as like your end all be all, you know, brain focused, whatever. But I find that like sometimes you know how to do something better in another program or another way, and like just do that. figure out what your hardware is good at and use it for that, and then figure out other ways that you can explore when you're not trying to make music. The chord screen, 100%. Yeah, the chords, I do like the chord screen. I would like to see them add another note with the notation, because like if you play a chord on here, hold on one second. Oh shit, you can't see that. But if you play a chord on here, right here, a triad or something, it'll show you what you're playing if you have up to 3 notes. You can at least see this, even though you probably can't tell what that is. But I would like a 4th note, because once you start hitting more than 3 notes, it kind of falls off. So that would be cool, but it's not that big of a deal. You can do triad, you know, of E flat suspended 4, and then add, you know, something to that. Second button on the chord screen, you can look at the different options. Second button on the chord screen on live. Oh, on chords. Sorry. On the chord mode. My bad. Wait. Live. Key. Chords. Second. Wait, chromatic. Sorry, I'm train wrecking. How do I get into chords again? Poly, MPE drum, live. Right? Oh, duh. Okay. My bad. Yeah, I'm hitting second and I'm not seeing anything. And lock in expanded. I got MIDI in and MIDI out. The rectangle. So expanded. Sus etc. Chord modifiers. More of the bleep loop. Hey Chase. Oh, do I need to hold something down to get that? Because it's not turning on. I don't know. I'll figure it out later, okay? Second button locks them in. Oh, I see. Okay, okay. I got you now. All right, I got you. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, that's cool. What I meant was the notation aspect, though. I learned something. Thank you for that. Yeah. Move this over here. Yeah, cool. fuck. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the automation mode. And I gotta get out. Ah, this sucks. Automation mode is not my thing. Hey, Yasko, what's up? Thanks for coming in, dude. Okay, so we need to bring up the percussion now because everything else is way too loud. Well, in comparison. And I think that we have enough to play with. I think that we just need to diversify it now and just like make it have the push and pull. So this is so clunky. Does this have like reverb on it or something? Another YouTuber had the hit packs doing really cool Steve Reich type stuff. Duplicate one of the channels and put the BPM at like 90% to get phasing. More Tangerine Dream style though. I have no idea what that is. So let's try to create a line with this. Because what I'd like from this is to music for 18 musicians style. Right on. do 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 do. Chase, I think you sent me something and I forgot to look at it. I am so sorry. I have forgotten, but I have not forgotten that I've forgotten. Ah, this is what was bothering me. It was a scam? Thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna take this now and just see if we can add just like maybe one more percussion thing. I totally lied, by the way. I was like, yeah, I never have more than 4 things going on in drums at once. No, I don't want it to be like a roller, like, but maybe like, I do want it to have just a little bit more momentum because I want it to be a little bit harder than what I'm doing now. No. Let's just see what this vibe is like. Oops. So I want a few more layers in this, just with like background sounds and stuff. So we're gonna do a processing that is kind of a ritual to me. Fuse compressor, maybe gate. Then fuse compressor. No, fuse compressor first. So we'll do something like this. I've really simplified my resampling drum chain just because of what I'm looking for usually, but do something kind of like that. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Bop, bop. Skitty bop, bop, bop. And a boom, boom, pow. Let me grab a delay plus. And dope. So I got all this shit now. Lots of cool stuff to dissect. We're probably going to use like a micro fraction of all of this, but even still, what we can do is group this stuff now. Command G, turn it off, and just kind of get down to business. Get down to business with trying to find some cool layers for this to work inside of. I'll throw this in the percussion here. Solo. That's not what I was looking for. Let's try. See what's behind door number 2. Place that over the snare. And do something like that and just kind of give that a little bit more. You can have these like background noises and shit within all of this that will sound kind of cool. And these layers that we're working with are just little things like that we can utilize for other shit. See how that sounds. Maybe take out the low end of this. Hello. That's dope. Hey, Cameron. What is this mono edit second step? It looks like there's another option on that, but how do you change that? Whatever. It's alright. I'm just exploring. Go to the algorithm and shuffle this. It's pretty nice. So what I'm gonna do is I know exactly what melody I want in this, so bro. This needs just a little bit of stereo to it. Yeah, that's a cool little loop. That's really far. Wait, what happened there? There we go. Just making bass. Pretty cool. So I want to figure out what's making that squelching sound. It's probably the filter. It's definitely the filter. That's pretty dope. I'm just gonna see what this does, if anything. There's a lot of low mids right here. So I'm going to try to back off of the pressure of that. That kind of makes it a little bit cleaner. like this to be a little bit more crunchy. There we go. Oh yeah? On Mac? Let's go. Still. All right, we're gonna turn this off for now. No, I mentioned trying out Cubase. What I consider, I already gave Reaper a go. I tried it out on stream and I had the worst time of my life. Fucking hated it. Hated it. Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, like where everything is supposed to be and the keyboard shortcuts and all that shit, I was just like, nope. Nope. Not doing it. Dude, where's this latch at? Ugh, I hate that this does not, that I have to do this now. Like, just let me. This is dumb. Is that like offline editing? Or no, that's Cubase. You alright? Yeah, I can. There's a lot that I can take away to appreciate from Bitwig 6, even if the changes are very small for like, well, I'll say this, the overall changes are small, but the changes that they made to workflow like negatively impact the way that I work personally. I don't like it, and that's okay. Like, I don't have to like it, you know? But it just, like I said, some of the stuff doesn't make sense, you know? Like, it doesn't make sense that they put all this effort into building the Bitwig Connect where like the latch workflow works best with that. I've already mentioned this, but if I have this and let's say I, latch this to the Connect or whatever. Oh, what did I just do? I just turned that down. Yeah. So like I latch this to where this wants to be. And what are you doing? But are you reading chat? She says, Rainbow knobs missing, but we have Rainbow Timeline now. Adding effects to individual audio clips is so nice. What are you staring at? Relax. Please don't eat my gear. That being said, like, it makes sense for the latch to pull up and then it's already there and then it's like ready to go, but to have to right click and then use that doesn't make any fucking sense. Let me show you what I mean. Does anybody have any questions about this project, by the way? We'll wrap up with my final rant. Look at this. And this was something that people were like complaining over of like, oh, you just need to embrace the new workflow and this. Is like, dog, hold on a sec. Hold your fucking horses. Because look, what happened to my template? Let's say I've got a filter, right? Foil. Ian, you're trying to be smart here. Can you fucking spell correctly? Look, here's the thing. If I click on this and we're in Bitwig mode, it latches, right? If I go down here to the hamburger, it's already there. And so I can do my recording automation or whatever it is that I want to do. That just moved back in. Why did that move off of that? I guess I have to hold it, right? And then it will create an automation lane. But without having to go right click, create new automation lane, I can just move over this and then freaking move this, and it doesn't stack. It'll be nice and clean to where I can see everything. That makes so much more sense to me for automation than the automation mode in itself. But you get what I mean? It's like, yeah. So I'm like, what? Do you see how this caters to me anyways? This caters to a latch workflow so much better. And like, you have to go to automation mode in Bitwig 6 to see what you're doing. And I think the automation, some of the clip things, like highlighting a clip, really annoys me. Well, it's hard to tell, right? It's hard to tell what is a bug and what is not a bug. And so we'll just have to wait until beta 2 before like we make those formal complaints. I did make the video about things that I'd like to see changed, but I also gave them the benefit of the doubt that some of this stuff might be just a bug. Right. But yeah, and then also there's a thing with this. If I go into samples, let me see if I can find a loop. Okay, so if I highlight this and I hold Option and drag, it'll just create a copy of it. But in Bitwig 6, you have to click first and then hit Option, and then it will drag over. But if you're just doing regular audio editing, it'll still behave in the way that is intended. So I don't know if that's a bug, but that's just like, yo, what is going on? So I don't know. It's not that big of a deal. It doesn't like break my flow. It's just those things that I'm like noticing that I'm like, I don't like that. I do. Oh, thank you. Oh, you all right? Do you have hairballs or like, cause you do that a lot. You okay? You okay, baby? Breaking old workflow should be a no-no. Well, something has to change. So I get that sometimes you need to modify, but the modifications that they made don't make sense to me. That's kind of the thing, is like, I don't see any reason why you needed to take away what we already had. You know what I mean? But yeah, anyways, it's not that big of a deal. Does anybody have any questions about anything? Please don't throw up on me. You okay? Sounds like she's hacking a lung up. Cool. Well, thank you all so much for coming in. I stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. I'm usually doing some kind of beat making or sound design with tools and all that other stuff. If you want to support the channel, I've got lots of sounds at alckemy.com, kind of like what I made today, the drums and all that other stuff. But yeah, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Come back on Friday. Maybe I'll finish this beat up. If you can, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and yeah, I'll see you all around. Thank you so much. I'll see you later.